Okay, we have dsuty versus BOUT2PUKE here. So interesting enough, this is actually the runner-up and the third place winner respectively, in the bronze bracket from last Carbuncle's corner. So, but they're facing off already in pools. So this is going to be an interesting test to see who's going to get into silver and who's going to make it into bronze. It seems, because they both can't be in like the same bracket if they're in the pools. So. That's just how the pool seating kind of works. But Dusty has an impressive 8 chain already. Could set it off with the blues for a 9, but chose not to extend off of it. Decided to keep going. But BOUT2PUKE is going to be cutting here. Nice chain release from Dusty. Looks like they're going to get a power 8 out of this. Maybe a power 9. Nope, that is a power 8. Okay, excellent response from Dusty as well. Could have opted to make one more link to make it a 9, but of course an 8 will still be enough to take that. Okay, round 2. So looks like Dusty has a bit more of the speed. Is a bit more of a faster chainer here in the beginning since it's GTR, and GTR is sort of like a. I'm not gonna say it's a do this and you win instant thing, but it is like the most familiar chaining form for most people here, so that is going to be the faster way to do it. Going to opt to use not the extended trigger off the column 1 transition, but BOUT2PUKE did give us an intro of his 8 chain nonetheless. I feel like Dusty kind of just got a little bit confused of like how their tail or their transition really worked, so they kind of just chained off it, or they might have been dropped. It could have been pretty much either one. Next round here, a little bit of a cookie cutter going on, especially with how the purples and the reds are stacking up to each other. But the cookie cutting kind of stops when you see how the height difference between BOUT2PUKE and Dusty's here. Both of them are setting really unsafe GTR here. BOUT2PUKE a little bit more safe than Dusty, however, because they do have more reds in their chain. Dusty could have set that off, but chose not to. Probably could have wanted to do that, but does get the purples to set off the rest of the GTR, which will earn her a 7 chain. But BOUT2PUKE seems to be stuck in a little bit of the sauce here, so we'll be taking down a stock for that. That will give Dusty another point on the board. 2-1, really even players here, it seems. Like, both of them are amazing in their own will, so. Now that I'm thinking about it, Battlefy did kind of make the seeds here a little bit. I guess not really like I guess not like incorrectly, but it was different than what I was anticipating, so perhaps I need to go over how to do some seeding. For like the other brackets, not like the pool brackets are like how they're supposed to be, but I do see a little bit of like some different here. But regardless, Dusty's transition is a little bit too complicated right now. Needs a whole lot of colors right there, and you kind of don't want that for a transition, because all the colors are all over the place. Because you needed like two more blues and a red in like column 1 to even make that work. But obviously didn't really get that color combination, so they were just forced to just try to eat through it. Dusty not opting to use the purples as a transition there, but opting to use the blues instead. Hopefully they do get enough blues to work through it. See that Dusty also likes to tends to like, I guess, overthink a lot in their chaining process, which they really needs to be doing. But that is something that I do notice in their chains. Does get the 4 chain off here, but this is going to be another point down for BOUT2PUKE here, as Dusty does take another point on the leaderboard. 3-2 here, so again, pretty even matches right now. And a lot of these Carbuncle corners were kind of just due to like a lot of matches being close down to the wire, and that's kind of what I love to see. So we're going to be seeing a lot of down to the wire matches this time, which is great, because we do have some new faces and some returning faces that you can obviously tell here. Dusty could go for Hellfire here. Okay, a nice Hellfire to keep BOUT2PUKE away from their chain. Not a great match to set off their purples, however. Would have put that towards the side. Probably was a misstep on their end. So they will have to fix that, but that is not the way I would be fixing that. Ooh, and a really poor choice as BOUT2PUKE does get their chain off. Might have actually made the Hellfire itself was really good, but the follow-up was probably needed a little bit of labbing there. May have been a misdrop, may have just been a panic, not know what to do type of chain, but regardless, that's going to be BOUT2PUKE's chance to tie it up here. Or, sorry, there, as BOUT2PUKE tries to get a lead here. And BOUT2PUKE might be trying to replicate what dsuty did to him. Not sure why dsuty decided to set up Puyo's over there, rather than just put them in a transition where they could do a little bit more service to her. Still not, okay. Not sure what the play was there. But that's going to be BOUT2PUKE's lead here, which is great for him. dsuty can still make it up here. But yeah, a lot of overthinking seems to be setting dsuty back a little bit here more, but kind of just needs to take from some players and just roll with it. Because like the changes like she does are like good. They just like take a little bit too long because they just take a little bit more to think. So, but in Puyo kind of needs to like, as you go up, you kind of need to like think faster. You don't think instantly, but you kind of need to like be a little more faster. Okay, I need to stop overthinking it. This is great. A little bit more confidence in your chain, so that they can like, and it's easier said than done for sure. But you know, sometimes you just gotta trust yourself. A little bit too slow, dsuty, as BOUT2PUKE does get their chain off. Would have gotten an all clear at the end there too. Probably good. There's also a red drought a little bit, but of course sometimes it just happens. Match point for BOUT2PUKE here, who made an amazing turnaround here. Okay, a little bit of rest chain from dsuty here, but BOUT2PUKE just needs one more yellow. So if this counters, then that will be his point to take right here. And it looks like it is going to do just that. BOUT2PUKE does run away with a little bit of a redemption from last tournament and moves on to the a higher bracket than dsuty, I guess. But regardless, that's going to be this match here.